What it do, HardwoodKnocks listeners? I am Dan Valley coming at you with another YouTube exclusive here. If this is your first time checking us out, please hit that subscribe button, comment, like on the video to ensure that the algorithm will love us back. We're trying to grow the community. It's been pretty quickly building over the past couple months, so socials are all right at the bottom as well. Join our Discord in the YouTube description. And again, it would mean the world if you hit that subscribe button. Helps us out, helps me out particularly a lot. I'm going to go through this ranking from Hoops Hype, the top 25 point guards ahead of the 22-23 season. I am ready to get spicy and hopefully be quick about this. We are off. Let's scroll through this. First up, Kyle Lowry. And let me just mention that I'm going through these for the first time myself so you can catch my live reaction. Like, I get it. He's older, 36 now. Didn't have the best close to the season. How many games will he miss? But, man, 25. Kyle Lowry, the 25th best. I need to see who else is here. 24 is Josh Giddey of OKC. Now, I need to see who else is in front. Josh Giddey had a great summer league. Fantastic passer, pretty good size, defender. Ahead of Kyle Lowry, though, I can't get there. His scoring is too unproven. So I already have qualms. D'Angelo Russell at 23 definitely belongs in front of Giddey. Had an understated season last year. Would I put him in front of Kyle Lowry? I guess just if you trust him to be healthier. Lowry's still the better defender. I would argue the better passer as well, but D'Lo's probably just a more reliable shot maker at this point. So, yeah, I don't think I'd be shocked if he gets traded now, by the way, now that they have Gobert and Towns. Westbrook at 22. Yeah, no, I'm not he shouldn't be ahead of Kyle Lowry, at least. So we need to see who the other names are that are going through this. But Russ is just... He's too hard to fit into your roster, whether it's the Lakers or another one. He's one of the single most detrimental high-volume jump shooters the NBA has ever seen. Not good on defense anymore. His passing is fine when there's enough space for him to collapse defenses, and he still has some burst to him, and he can do some things around the rim. I'm not saying he shouldn't be on the top 25 list, but he shouldn't be in front of Kyle Lowry, who's just a more productive player even when he's not shooting as well or scoring as much as he's used to or would like to. 21 is Lonzo Ball, Chicago Bulls. If he's healthy, I could just see it. He's not really a point guard in their traditional sense, but he's a really good ball mover, this connective tissue. Awesome defender, and he's improved his jump shooting a great deal. Would I take him? I hate using Kyle Lowry as the basis. Would I take him over D'Lo? Would I take him over Kyle Lowry next season? I don't think so. I'd take him over Russ, though. He's just easier to fit into your roster. Marcus Smart at 20. Just another, not your typical floor general, but he can be a pretty good passer out of the pick and roll, even if he does, commit a lot of turnovers there too. Just a great defender, and he's just the past 3 or 4 years become a more bankable outside shooter, even on some off the dribble attempts. You want him to take less of those, and he has these really stark swings, but just one of the most valuable defenders the NBA has seen. His offense has come together nicely. Jaylen Brunson at 19. This is probably about right. I'm very interested to see what he does unless New York changes their roster. But as of right now, he's probably their number one option. Not going to be staggered from someone like Luka or get to play alongside someone like Luka. The Knicks normally have at least 2 non-shooters on the court at all times. Just interested to see how that impacts his value. I could see this being higher, though. His footwork on drives and the pressure he puts on defenses, it's real. De'Aaron Fox at 18. If anyone who has watched this, listened to me before, you know I'm a sucker for De'Aaron Fox. This could be right. I need to see who's in front of him. I would put him in front of every single player that we've just seen, though. And people remember that he was bad last year. They harp on his jump shooting. He had a really strong close to the season, and this is someone who's fast, puts a lot of pressure on the rim, has some semblance of a mid-range game and step-back three-point game. Needs to put it together more on defense, but this is someone I could see shooting up the rankings. Jamal Murray, Denver. This is tough. I'd argue he should be higher. Just the off-the-dribble offense he provides, and then the two-man synergy with Nikola Jokic, that ability to toggle on and off the ball. And also, full-strength Murray, he can be a really gutsy defender too, but he's coming off an ACL injury. So how do you treat that? I get putting him at 17. Sort of a similar case with Ben Simmons here. We veered too far away from reality with Ben Simmons. He is one of the most valuable defenders in the NBA, can guard basically every position. Maybe you don't want him as your, going up against fives or as your primary rim protector. He's still a fantastic passer. He can be a good finisher around the rim when he's willing. Needs to be more aggressive, and there just needs to be more variance to his offensive game. He showed some stop and pop, hook shot stuff near the basket in Philly for a minute, but it just feels like it was never put together consistently. Have to see how he recovers from that back injury, though. Tyrese Halliburton at 15. I love it. I'm high on Tyrese Halliburton. A lot of people think that he's going to be just sort of this ball mover and plug and play point guard. I'm not going to go as far as to say he actually is Chris Paul 2.0, but he is just so rock solid in so many different areas of the game. And go back and watch some of his, or a lot of his possessions once he was traded to Indiana. Really took off as an ISO scorer, and his passing in the one-on-one situations as well. I think this is someone who has like top 5 point guard in the league potential, and I think it's fine to put him in the top 15 next season. Kade Cunningham. Yeah, I might even throw him higher. A lot of people were focused too much on his efficiency last year. Just watch him. The control he has over the game, has defenses on a string. I would have him ranked higher than anyone that has been on this list so far. That's how good I think he is. I think this is going to wind up being low for him, to be honest. You'd like to see the three-pointer come together a little bit more, but Detroit's going to have a better roster with Ivy and Duren this time. They should be able to carve out a little bit more space for him. And then he's good on defense. Like, he can guard smaller players. He can hold up against some stronger wings. This Kade Cunningham has best player in the NBA potential. And if you told me he's a top 10 point guard next season, I might believe it. Is he better than Fred VanVleet already? I don't know. VanVleet, he's small. He's a dogged defender, though. You probably wish that he hit more of his off-the-dribble jumpers, but he is just someone who is scalable. He can play away from the ball off Siakam, off Scotty Barnes. And when he does put pressure on defenses inside the arc, like, he's become a much better passer in those situations. Darius Garland at 12. I think we're kind of in like the right territory. I might put Cade ahead of, I'm going to put Cade ahead of Fred VanVleet. I think he should definitely be there. Now, that's how high I'm on him. It wouldn't surprise me if he's ahead of Garland. Garland, good shooter, great in-between game, gnarly passer at this point. Wouldn't surprise me if he enters top 10 territory either. LaMelo Ball, this almost feels like it could be low, but we need to see him become like more consistent finisher around the rim, be able to handle contact a little bit better off the dribble. He's like an okay shooter. I guess you wish there were more levels to that jump shot, though. He can also play off the ball as well, though, with hitting that spot up stuff. And just his size, I don't think he's a great defender, but we've seen it impact the game already, and he can force turnovers when he's able to take chances, too. Getting into top 10 territory, let's see where we're at. Drew Holiday, Milwaukee. I don't know why this almost feels low, but he's just one of the best defenders in the NBA, and he shot like 1,000,000,000%, by the way, on step-back jumpers last year. So he has that self-creation to his game. A pretty solid passer. He's the best passer on the Bucks, I would argue. Like, Giannis can sometimes have more assists. He just creates more havoc. But Drew is just craftier than Giannis or even Middleton in those situations. He belongs in the top 10 for sure. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Without seeing who's coming next, I would have Shai the highest on this list so far. I could see Cade jumping him. I almost feel like Shai is too low. Look at Shai's own from-scratch shot making. He's had to carry absurd burdens in OKC the past 2 years. He's a really good finisher around the rim. You want him to hit more of his jumpers, but he's also taking really tough jumpers. And if you get a jump from Josh Giddey, and by the way, having both these guys classified as point guards is interesting. That's why I'm not like the biggest fan of strict positions anymore, but whatever. You go by the positional data, what they played on defense. If that's how they did this, that's fine. I think that this is also maybe a bounce back year defensively for Shai. He's kind of regressed since he was a rookie and even a sophomore once he was traded to OKC, but maybe just having more creators on the roster now, or more outlets in Josh Giddey, in Chet Holmgren, maybe even J-Dubs there as well. I think it helps him and maybe allows the Thunder to utilize him more aggressively on defense, but I think Shai is an all-star, all-NBA type player. Kyrie Irving at 8, yeah, if he plays, if he stays healthy. I don't know where to put him when you don't know whether he's even going to be on the Nets. Is he going to report to training camp if he's on the Nets? I would guess that he will. He is one of the most lethal scorers in the game right now. You look at his handles, the way he's able to finish on circus layups, and then just he can hit jumpers off the dribble from anywhere at any level and just keep defenses on this perpetual tilt. Number 7, James Harden. Man, that almost feels low, but we need to see what he looks like after a weird close to last year. All reports are that he is in shape and healthy, and we haven't heard both of those things at the same time for Harden in an offseason in roughly forever. With that being said, if you take the version of James Harden we saw with the Sixers last year, he's probably still 7, just because his passing is fantastic and defenses overreact to him. We need to see if he has the same sort of zip and vim finishing through contact and getting to the basket, and you also want to see maybe more stabilization in the step back jumper, or to a point where he's less reliant on it? Like, does he have that burst off the dribble that, again, he's showcased in moments, but not for, 30 plus minutes a game? Chris Paul at 6, it's tough. He's he doesn't want to rest. He is incredibly good. I think people skewed too far negatively on his defense last year. Like, yeah, he can be attacked with certain teams, but like, he is still going to give you, especially during the regular season, a rock solid performance there. Absolutely deadly from the mid-range, can hit those pull-up threes, an expert in picking apart defenses and semi-transition, one of the highest IQ players in the game. It's amazing that we're talking about someone in their late 30s, and he can still just be a borderline top 5 point guard. Damian Lillard at 5. I would agree with Damian Lillard just in front of Paul by virtue of Paul's age at this point. If Damian Lillard's healthy, he's just I don't even know how to describe him, but his shot making is unfathomable. Super deep threes off the dribble, can play off the ball a little bit, can really move without the ball as well if the Blazers want him to. He has over the years just gotten more, to me, variable as a finisher and can do some more in between stuff. This is someone who has the whole package too when you look at his playmaking. Like, he has leveled up his passing through the years as well. I think he belongs. I would put him in front of Chris Paul for sure. And I don't know if there's anyone else that I would loop into the top 5 that we've gone through already. I'd come close with Shea. I guess I never considered him like the actual point guard if you're going with Giddey. Trey Young at number 4. Yeah, this seems fine. I mean, look, Young, we need to see how he does with Murray. And I'm surprised that Murray maybe didn't make this list. I would have him over, because both those guys qualify as point guards technically. I definitely have him over Russ. I'd have him over Giddey as well. That feels like a snub. We'll see if he makes the 2-guard rankings. Trey Young is just, his passing, absolutely marvelous. He's like pretty good at getting those floaters just up and over the outstretched arms of players who are a lot bigger than him. We know that some people get a little bit perturbed by his shot selection early in the shot clock. I don't care. He can take threes from the logo off the dribble with 17 seconds left on the clock. He's earned that right. What I want to see is, can you displace him from the ball with Murray and then sort of treat him like he's going to be coming around screens or maybe even setting screens? He can't be Steph Curry just because Curry's an expert screener for a point guard and Trey's smaller than Curry. But I do think that he has the stroke and just the gravity to where he could really torch defenses in that hybrid role we see Steph play a lot. Ja Morant at 3. This is interesting. I think Trey Young kind of has Ja beat in a lot of the offensive areas. Ja's clearly the better finisher at the rim, maybe even like his floater game a little bit better. He's improved as a shooter, and he's an incredible passer, but I think Trey has him beat just overall as a scorer and passer. Putting Ja Morant in the top 5, though, yeah, I'm not putting him, I might even put Dame in front of him at this point, but I'm not putting him. I'd put him in front of Chris Paul. Maybe Chris Paul is, his floor right now seems to be 6. Number 2, Steph Curry, the Golden State Warriors. Nope. Steph is 1. Look at his gravity on the ball, off the ball, that pull that he has. The geography of defense has changed so much when he's on the court. I think we also just underrate the damage that he can do inside the arc with his floater, with his finishing around the rim. He's a really good passer too. I know we talk about Kyrie Irving having the best handles in the game. It might be Steph. He's at least in that conversation. I don't know how he's not number 1 at this point. And we know who's going to be number 1. It is Luka Doncic. Look, I get it. He's just so manipulative when he has the ball, in a good way. That's not an insult. People talk about, his 3-point percentage is so low. The level of difficulty on those things, the distance, the bodies that are in front of him. He's taller than Steph, so he's maybe, purposefully assigning a higher level of difficulty on some of his 3-point looks. He is absolutely deadly inside the arc. He can post up, do monstrous things around the rim. I think he's probably, you can see in stretches and flickers that he's improved defensively when he's going up against bigger and slower players. At least there's no questioning his passing. Steph isn't going to necessarily break down a defense as methodically as Luka and be able to carve something out at a standstill. He wants to put the defenses in rotation and wreak havoc with just his quick handles and his body angles and his speed. Luka has some blow by, but he also just has that shoulder strength and is able to create separation, get defenders on his hip really well too. I get why you would put him 1, and he's certainly 2 for me, but I think that Steph is by far the best point guard. What did you think of this? Any snubs, any problems with the order? Anything I said, please just remember to subscribe to this channel, follow all our socials, handles again are right here, and join our Discord, the links to which are in the description. I will catch you all next time, and like always, until then, shout out to the one, the only. How did he not make this list? Because he should be number one, Frank Ntilikina.